It's going to be called a diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, I want you to feel like breathe and bring that air all the way to the bottom of your belly there. And exhale. Okay, we should sometimes shallow breathe, and most of the time I shallow breathe. And it's so automatic that you don't feel it. But if you like consciously go, you feel the bottom, right? So it's the diaphragm is a muscle right there at the bottom of your lungs. Again, it's going to pull down and exhale. There you go. So that I want you to practice that and make sure that you're conscious about that. Okay? This breathing should have a minimal impact in your swimming. Okay? It's like you can try to go up and pull your head out of the water, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but I don't want you like bring your head out of the water. I don't want you to be desperate when you're breathing. Okay? If you're desperate when you're breathing, it throws everything else off. Right? Work in sync with your stroke. Like if you're not synced with your stroke, you're pulling your head before it has to come out, then it's gonna throw you off as well. Okay? It's a combination of breathing and arms at the same time. Your face. One thing that's I've been practicing probably in the last 3 months. There's always stuff. I'm trying to always learn. And that's one thing I like about this sport. I'm always learning about it. You gotta keep one goggle in the water. One goggle in the water. You breathe on your right side, one goggle's in the water. Why? If you lift your head too high, your legs are gonna drop. Average weight of a head. Does anyone know? Have an idea how much an average head weighs? 14. So what's happening? You're here. You lift the head, legs drop. Legs drop, the rest of the body drags. If you drag, you're going to be going slower, right? Bilateral breathing, okay? You want to practice breathing on both sides, right? Breathe on the left, breathe on the right. Breathe on the left, breathe on the right. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right? If you're weak side, I'm right-handed and learned to breathe on my right, since I was a kid. It was what came easy. I started swimming in open water. Left side. Why do you want to breathe on both sides? For the open water swimmers. Chop. The wind is coming. It's going to blow on your face. Not blowing your face. It's blowing on your face. You can't breathe. The water's coming on your side, on that side that you're used to breathing. What are you going to do? I don't know how to breathe on the other side. No, you got to breathe on the other side as well. And again, at the same time, you're balancing the rest of your body. Okay? Swimming, you're going forward. Swimming, if you're a pitcher or if you're playing baseball, just batting on the right, throwing on the right. What happens? Right shoulder, right elbow gets hurt. Playing tennis. Right side, always. So if you were able to play with both sides, you'll probably balance both sides of your body. That's what we're trying to do with swimming. Balance to breathe on both sides of your body. All right, if you have any questions, feel free to interrupt. Okay? I do swim analysis. This is a picture of one of the people that came to one of my swim analysis. We're not going to get into that yet, but the body position, right? So, long and tall, right? Imagine someone's pulling you from the top of your head with a string, right? And that string goes through all your body, through the middle of your body, okay, from your feet all the way up. So you stand tall. If you slouch, you're creating more drag. Big chest, drop at the hips. So this is the horizontal line, and look, it's making a drag with the chest, drag with the heels. We're gonna see in another picture there's drag created by the calves as well. Okay, so head, hips, and heels should be always hovering the surface. Always. Okay, Some people say push your chest down, or imagine that you're swimming downhill. And those are cues that you can imagine, okay? And it's a lot of visualization work that you got to do. Okay? If you're doing that visualization, like imagining yourself doing these things, you can start at least getting that mental aspect of it going on. Okay? Horizontal, yes. Your eyes. Where are your eyes? Anywhere from the bottom. Okay, you're swimming looking. That's the bottom of a pool in front of me. Okay, so I'm looking here, or 45-degree angle, just like a little bit in front of me. Okay, I don't want the head up. If the head is up, what happens again? That weight makes you tilt down. All right.
Where should the water hit your head?
Pardon me?
Where should the water hit your head? You know, like when you're swimming flat, is it hit forehead or top of the head? Or?
So if you're 45 degrees angle, right? So right here, it's probably just the water's going to be probably just around your headline, right? Anywhere around there. But again, anytime that you're pulling your head up, even for breathing, some people do this when they breathe, because afraid, that nervousness of I'm not going to be able to catch air. And what happens if you're nervous? You're not relaxed. And if you're not relaxed, you're getting tense, tight, or tense. And if you're getting tense, then you lose that relaxation that you should have for swimming. Okay, sorry, I was going back. Does that answer the question? Yeah. Right. The legs are there for support. Okay, to help you balance. In freestyle, roughly 10 to 15% propulsion. Okay, if you're kicking really hard, that's as much as you're getting. Okay, unless you're a sprinter, you're swimming 50 yards in a race, or 25 yards, 100 yards, right? Then that's fine. You can kick hard. But if you're swimming long distance, my triathletes here, okay, we want the legs to be saved for the run, or for the bike first, right? So if we're expanding the energy with the legs, then you're not gonna have legs for the bike or the run afterwards. The kick originates at the hip. Okay, so it's not here. Okay, right, and that leg is not tight, but it's not loose either. Okay, because once we make that leg loose, you start bending that knee, and we don't want to get that kick originating from the knee or the quadriceps. Okay, avoid bending the hips and knees. So I don't want you to go like this either. Okay, unless you're swimming butterfly. Are you swimming breaststroke, which is not the point that we're attacking today or focusing on today? Breaststroke is 40 to 60%. Okay, so if you're in the middle of the ocean and you want to do some breaststroke, just make sure to remember that you're spending all that energy, and then you gotta go to transition area and grab your bike. So, but yeah, that's the part of the kick. Okay, this is our basics in the hand entry, which is where we get most of the propulsion from. For the hand entry, the fingers enter first. Okay, that's the first thing you want to go. The water or the arm has to be extended above the head. So you go in. Let's see, I'm a better right hander. Yeah. So I'm gonna go in here. Okay, right hand comes in. I recover. We're not getting there yet, but as the fingers go in, boom, it's like with the very tip of the fingers. You put those fingers in, you reach, grab, enter, extend the arm above the head, always the elbow above the wrist, always, at every aspect of that stroke cycle, the elbow is always above the wrist, always. Extend the arm underneath, in front of the shoulders. Train tracks. Okay? If you cross, then you're losing propulsion, you're starting to wiggle and creating more drag. I always talk about thinking of, I told you this, yeah. Think that you're swimming inside a pipe, a tube, a straw, okay? The less you touch the outer edges or the edges of that straw, of that pipe, the better, the more streamlined you are, okay? It's about being streamlined, being relaxed, and trying to disturb the least amount possible that medium or that environment that's 800 times more dense than the air, right? So we're gonna get in there and we're gonna be pushing against it. So, and don't rush the arms, okay? You don't wanna rush the arms. You wanna go in and take your time. The only time that we're pushing a little bit faster on the stroke is when we get here. So we're gonna get to the catch, but we get here and then it's a push. That's your powerful part. When you're coming out of the pool, that's one thing that I like to practice is come out on the edge of the pool. Don't use the stairs. And that's a practice. You come out and push. You come out, grab the edge, and you don't have any force over here, right? Or less strength over here. Okay? This is when you get here is when you are able to push yourself up. Right? Okay. Any questions so far?
Comment. Sorry.
Yes? Sorry.
When I'm swimming in the open water, I'm thinking of surfing. So this might be visualized because that's not the line, but
Right.
it's the same in the pool. When I was surfing,
Okay.
obviously surfing, this way,
Yeah.
or that way. So when I'm swimming on the pool, I do the same thing. Sometimes I close my eyes and I do the same thing. It's the same movement.
I don't understand your question, but yeah, like the arms, you go in, you grab, you pull. Yeah. Okay.
Anyone surfing here?
Yeah, you're used to having a board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
And
your
when
eyes
you
are coming
surf-
The
out.
arms are wide.
Yeah,
Is that
they're
what you mean?
wide.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
there's-
Well, there's an exaggerated part in surfing because you're on top of a board and
Right.
you gotta go wider. Okay, you don't have to go too wide in the pool, but
Okay.
it's like you go in here. Okay, we're gonna get to the catch part, but okay, I don't want you to go out here. Okay, because on the board you're up here. You have the surfboard down and you're boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
and it's extra wide. And on top of that, you have your on your chest, and you have your shoulders are high, your head is up. So it changes all the dynamic a little bit. Okay, but more or less it's the same principle. Keep your arms wide. You don't want to go cross because if you cross, then you're going to be wiggling side to side, and then that's the part we want to avoid. We want to avoid all the wiggling, and we want to stay as streamlined as possible. Yeah. Jonathan, you had a question, comment?
No, I was just working on my strokes.
Okay. All right. All
Do
right.
triathlons always start swim?
Yes. Yeah.
It's always swim, bike, run?
Swim, bike, run. That's the traditional order. Unless someone else comes in and wants to do the other way around, but it's always been, or we have the EPIs, which is a paddle board. You're down on a stand-up paddle, but yeah.
Just wondering.
You can have run, bike, run, which is it's a duathlon instead. Yeah. Or aqua bike, or yeah, or aquathlon, which is swim and run. So yeah. Okay. All right. You know her?
Oh,
Do you know
I
her?
bet she was so familiar with my legs were hurt.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, the catch and pull. Okay, your hand and your forearm. Your forearm is another side of a paddle. Okay, and it's a big extension there that you have. If you're using wetsuits, some of the newer wetsuits and higher end wetsuits have it's not neoprene on the forearm. Why? Because they want to make it. They want to make it like I don't know texture. Yes, they make it textured so it can grab more water as well. All right, those that are using wetsuits for open water swim. It's really important to use your enter, right? Elbow bent, right? And the fingers and the palm are facing, or the fingers are pointing down. The palm is facing the back, That's the back side of the pool. Okay, the bottom is the back wall of the pool. So you're in and it's pointing there. You catch, grab, pull, grab, elbow, pull. Okay, and it's the forearm. Okay, imagine a ball. You know, so you grab that yoga ball, and it's like, and you're pushing that ball back. You go in, you grab it, and pull that ball back. All right, that's the catch. Imagine there's an anchor. You anchor the hand in the water. So I'm here, I go in, and the hand anchored because it's not solid, but it's moving you up. Go in and moves you. Go in and moves you. Right? A lot of visualization there. Okay, the hand exits past the hip, and something that I've been practicing for years, brushing the thigh with the thumb. Okay, you're gonna lose like 10%, all right, or 5% if you just do this crocodile arm. You don't want to do that. You want to push all the way down, all the way down. Okay, and the hand goes in, fingers pointing down, palm facing the back of the pool. Okay, and then recover. All right. Shannon has their fingers pointing down, the forearms out, elbow, and the elbow pointing out, the forearm. Again, all as a lever up there. Okay, pushing that water back. See what I was telling you about the water pressing on the calf, or creating drag with the calf, or the calf creating the drag. All right. The rotation. My friend Ulrich over here, all his head out, desperate, catching the water there. Don't need to do that. I like to make that sound also when I'm underwater. They compared swimming with meditation. Okay, it's like it's relaxing. It's relaxing. Sometimes I feel when I come out of the water that my throat is a little irritated, and I catch myself okay. That's not part of this slide, but the rotation will depend on the specialty. Okay, sprinter or fast or short distances, they rotate less. It's more fast arms going back or doing that cycle, and there's less rotation. Long distance swimmers, okay, the triathletes again, we're gonna rotate a little more. Okay, that rotation creates a little bit of propulsion as well. Right? There's a consensus of 30 to 40 degree rotation. Okay, more or less. Okay, engineers, mathematicians in the room will have an idea. I just try not to rotate too much, but there's that rotation included there. Okay, the recovery phase. Okay, that recovery phase it's called recovery for a reason, because your forearm and your arm are recovering over there. Boom. Okay, that phase. The thumb brushes the thigh, lift that elbow, and it can go anywhere from here to look like a rainbow, right? Or you want to it's exaggerated and it's a drill to keep the thumb brushing all the way to your armpit. And that works, that's one of the drills, to educate that shoulder, that elbow to come up. So you come up, you drag, and extend. Okay? But the rainbows out, or if you're at the start of a triathlon, again, there's a lot of arms around, and it's like a boxing match a lot of the time. You go a little higher to avoid those other athletes around you. I do not, this is my personal experience, I avoid contact, okay? and I don't switch my form at all. I just like, I'm aware of the surrounding, and I'm just, I keep my stroke. Okay, what's my, why do I do it that way? If I raise my arm too high, that lever is going up too high and it's sinking me. Okay, I'm doing a lot more force with the bottom arm to keep me afloat, right? I don't want to be doing that. Okay, I'm going to keep it that way. If I stop someone, it's going to be two hands making contact. It hurts, and you've probably done it in the lanes of the pool. You've probably, if you're swimming in circles, right? You hit the other person coming, and it's bam, it's out, and that's it. I'd rather have a small bruise on my hand that wasting energy at a race or a long distance swim because I'm trying to keep my arms high. So that's what the rainbow shape means. Okay, go here. Yeah, question? No, okay. All right, continue. All right. Beginners and advanced. Everyone can do the same practice, right? All the drills are going to be the same for everyone, all right? The difference is how well you hold the technique under fatigue, right? And that's what happens with everyone. Last Sunday, two guys broke the 2-hour barrier at the London Marathon, running 4-minute miles for 26 miles. That was, yeah, 1:59:30 and 1:59:40 something. Can you run 4-minute miles for 100 yards? For 100 yards, yeah. Can you? Right? Exactly. Try to run that distance or that pace for 500 or for yeah. We can run a mile at that pace. Oh, I can't. So, what my point is, they held good form, good technique, and that's what pushed them through the end. I've been watching videos of there's the World Open Water Championships going on in Nice, in Nice, not in Ibiza, and 10 kilometers in an hour 50 something. Open water, yeah. These guys are going fast, and you see the form of these guys at the end. Okay, they've been swimming for 2 hours, and they're just, and now they look like sprinters. What's the average pace? 1:10 for 10 kilometers. That's 6 miles. Yeah, yeah. So that's like if you hold your form under fatigue. Those that come to my spin class, like watch your form all the time. I'm telling you, breathe, drop those shoulders, stay relaxed. If you hold that form, you're going to be able to push through. Once you lose your form in the water, it's gonna be more obvious. You're gonna be trying to push harder. Your heart rate's gonna go up. Okay, not only because you're tired, but you're trying to move yourself across that again environment, which is denser than air. So focus. Okay, we're gonna go to do the drills and get in the water. So focus on one skill at a time. Okay, slow down to feel the water. Okay, I want you to hold your technique, hold your form, right? And don't chase speed right now. We're not gonna chase speed. Okay, every length has a purpose. Like, just think, like, what am I working on? Okay, why? Like, put the hand in, right? Fingertips. Reach, tap the water, and then I reach, I grab. Think about all those faces, right? It's a lot of faces going on, okay? I do personal training, okay? And one of the things that I tell them, like I have people like the two, balance, right? You're here, once you tap the ground, coming up, right? I don't want you to be here. I'd rather you do. Put your foot down, and let's reset. Let's do it all over again, okay? And it's quality over quantity, okay? You can be swimming 3,000, 3,500 yards 3 times a week, and you're still swimming 2-minute miles. 2 minute yards. I wish it was 2 minute miles. 2 minute 100 yards. But you're probably swimming 1,500, 200, or 2,000 yards per session, right? And you're focusing more on drills and getting your form right, and then you're gonna be swimming sub 2 minute, 800 yards, right? That's like the goal. To stay, again, swimming is about being relaxed. You want to stay breathing like the proper way. Like you take air through your mouth, you exhale through your nose, and make sure that you don't want to drop, push all the air out. Okay? Of course, if you don't push all the air out, then that CO2 starts accumulating, and then you have less oxygen in there. So what do you want to do? Okay. Okay, think about that. Like you're pushing, but don't think that you have to empty your lungs all the way. Okay, don't think that, because then you're not gonna have enough time either. But by the time that you're ready to catch the air, that you are already like not desperate for the air, but you're ready to catch some air to fill up those lungs again. Make sense?
So do you slowly exhale or do you force it out?
I do a mix.
Okay.
Yeah, I do a mix. I want to make sure that no boogers come out when I do this. Again, you're being compressed, right? And there's pressure on your nose also. Like, there's not easy way to exhale when you're in the water, right? So you push the air out. Okay? At the same time, like one drill that I like is like you go 1, 2, 3, 25 yards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the next round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are amazing drills to start like learning to control your breath, right? Maybe you're on the third round when the breathing every 7, and you only do 3 breaths, and then you have to go back to every 3, right? Because it's like I don't have enough air anymore. I can barely make it. But that's a really good drill to do. Like first 25, 1, 2, 3. On the way back, so the 50 yards now you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe you can complete that relatively comfortable. You go to the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? And you exaggerate that inhale. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you do 3, 4 of those, and then you're like, and that teaches you like that control. Sometimes we did it at 9. I was swimming in a 50-meter pool in Caracas. Yeah, open, outdoor pool, not heated, Shannon. Yeah, but it was on the cold days. It was probably 79. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and we were complaining. We needed a heater. Yeah. All right. Okay. Takeaways. Technique first, always. Technique. Always technique. Always working on that. Quality over quantity, and slow down to feel the water. Okay. Yeah. Slow down. Feel the water. Okay? There's no sense on brushing your stroke. What I said in one of the slides. Okay? I see people like going and they're not moving. And it's like the rate of strokes. That's a question that someone asked me once. Yeah, it's 40 to 60. 40 to 60, right, per minute. You're like so nice, easy, relaxed. What's I mean, you are like if you glide too much, then you're not gonna be advancing too much. Okay, then you put a lot of like strength at the bottom. Okay, it's like pushing a heavy gear on the bike. Then you're probably over like pushing on that cadence. Okay, but then if you're going fast, then you're probably exerting too much energy and not moving and not getting that quality underwater catch and push, right? So take your time, feel the water, reach, grab that, and then anchor, pull, and push. When you get here, then I want you to push. That's when you get like past the hip. Push, again, rub or brush the thigh with the thumb and bring it up, okay? Always apply, okay? Apply what you learn at your very next session. Always. Like, do 100 yard free, 100 yard free easy, right? And then 50, one arm drill. Another 50, the other arm drill. Side kicks, we're gonna get into that, okay? Just kicking. Breathe on one side, breathe on the other side. Then you complete already 400 yards. Then get to the main set. Okay, I have, like, I'm drawing that map in my head. I have all that, like creating, like that blueprint. Okay, so you can become a more skilled swimmer with better form. All right? Questions?
I had one, yeah.
Yes,
There's a lot.
there's a lot, or a lot.
So,
You said a lot or a lot?
there's a lot.
Okay.
There's a lot to think about. So
Yes,
I
yes.
was gonna ask you, are there 2 or 3 things that are sort of the most important, or as we get in, you know, what are the 2 or 3 things that we should try to think about? Because there's like 10 things to think about.
Start from the top to the bottom, right? Always top to bottom. Again, the kick is like or no, I don't want to simplify it that way, right? Like, because yes, it is a lot to think about. Relax, okay? But don't become a noodle, a wet noodle in the water. You're like, it's a lower core, but I don't want you to go in there and I'm like, I'm relaxed. And you're tightening the abs. No. It's a mix of both things. Again, and now I go from top to bottom. So hand goes in, reach, grab. We're gonna do some drills. I have some sheets for you to do some drills. You reach, you grab, you push, all right, and then you come up. Where are you going? Bathrooms? Straight. Yeah, straight. Yeah, by the shower there, you see it? Yeah. You grab. Okay, make sure that elbow above the wrist. If one thing you're gonna take, elbow above the wrist. Elbow above the wrist, first thing. Okay, through the whole portion. Goes in. Maybe the only time that the elbow and the wrist are at the same level is when you're reaching. Okay, but otherwise, it goes and boom. Okay, start with that. You're breathing. Okay? If you're having a hard time with one side, well, focus on that side first. Focus on that side first. Again, don't lift the head. Okay, if you're lifting the head, to breathe. Okay, this is the water. If you're lifting, then you're gonna drop the legs. Okay? I have some sheets with drills there for you. So, yes.
So, for somebody who is not interested in swimming in the ocean,
Okay.
how important it is to breathe on both sides? Because I never even tried it.
Yeah.
Well,
So if I focus on that, I will not be able to do anything else.
It's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. If
So is it
it's
okay to stay on one side?
But what happens? It's the analogy that I was making with baseball or tennis, right? So you're gonna become stronger on one side.
Yeah, but most tennis players, even the professionals, they play with one hand. They don't move the racket on both
But
sides.
then- but
I know,
then-
I am sure it's better to do both. right?
Yes, yeah.
It's not the normal thing. For tennis.
But there again, it's or baseball or like right hand or left-handed pitcher is always going to be left-handed pitcher. But I'm sure he's doing some drills to keep balance, to not become
So
stronger.
let's go back
with
to the
one side.
breathing.
What's that?
Let's go back to the breathing and swimming.
Exactly. So if you're breathing always on one side, maybe your back is hurting, and you don't know, like, oh, why is my back hurting? Like, it's always like,
I never even, was never on my radar screen.
What's that?
It was never on my radar screen that I need
To breathe on the other side. Yeah. So maybe when you're breathing, the sun's coming out and it's on your face, you know, and it's like.
No, I'm sorry, of course it's better to be able to
Yeah.
do both. But
Yeah.
the thing is, for today, if I focus on that,
These are priorities.
this will take all my attention.
It's fine. I mean, I think it's a good thing. You know, yeah. Like, it is a good thing to learn to breathe on both sides. But if you're not, like, I'm not forcing it. So, yeah. Yeah.
What's the train track principle again?
Yeah. So, you go in, so the train tracks, right? It's wide, so always in front of the shoulder. That's where you want the hand to enter. Okay, goes in, grab, pull. Goes in, grab, pull. Your body divided in two, right? So you don't want to cross that middle line. Once you cross that middle line, it throws that imbalance. Okay? Too much. So you're gonna rotate. There. You're gonna rotate, right? Otherwise, yeah, you're going to do that too much.
I can, so my older daughter was here a few weeks ago, and she was training for a lifeguard test. Had to swim a certain distance under a certain time, and she was close but not making it. And a coach here just happened to look at her stroke, and she was coming through the water and crossing her face. So just that little change, more of a train track, in that swim, which was a 10-minute swim, she beat her time by a minute. Just from that one adjustment.
Yeah.
The train track versus crossing over. So, it's just, so that little adjustment made the difference for her.
There you go. Any more questions?
Any exercise outside we can perform.
What's up?
Any exercise outside.
We're going to do drills. That's where we're going now. So if you're ready to get in the water, this is it. This is the time. We're going to the 6-lane pool. We're going to grab the furthest away lanes. Okay. So I have this for you. And the printer, the format came a little small. So, but I do want you to, if you got your reading glasses, this is going to be perfect. Yeah. Yeah. It's warm. It's warm. The water's warm, and the 6 lane is warmer than the rest of the pools. Yeah. Right, sorry. Exactly. Yes. Plug your glasses. Yeah.
Are we bringing anything?
Bring all your stuff. Yeah. Bring all your stuff.
So we're gonna be doing these.
Yes, that's what we're doing. Yeah.
So the pool on the other side is 25 meters?
The yards. Yeah, they're all 25 yards. Yeah. Put meters here. Yeah, but it's yards. Yeah. All right.
Fins for the kicking drills?
If you want to, but rather not.
Okay.
Yes.
People don't use fins or anything like that in triathlon.
Nope.
Right?
No.
Like the hand paddles I see on.
No.
No.
Disqualified.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I just wondered, yeah.
You're probably lucky you have the feet though.
Terrible.
So for now, I have to use it. For now.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you're excused. Yes, you're excused.
Thank you.
When I was little, they always taught you to keep your fingers closed, but
Okay, that's a good question.
it's more tension that way.
So, okay, we'll go back to the water density, right? So, where do I have more surface? Here or here? Right, here, right? So the water's dense, so there's going to be some water coming out through my fingers. But if I'm here, I'm pushing a bigger surface of water.
That's a good thing now, to go open.
Not open, but just like slightly.
Relax,
Yeah.
I always thought.
I was
Think
taught
down,
that.
you know?
Yes.
I always thought. to make
But again, like, we go back to that, like, it's 800 times more dense than air. So, of course, if I do this in the air, not much is happening. If I do this in the air, I'm pushing a little more air. But if I do this in the water, and you can practice out in the water, if you do this, you're gonna be like, oh, I can feel more water here. But if you do it like this, then you're gonna be pushing a little, like, feel it more in your shoulders, like, oh, I'm working a little harder to stay myself up.
This is even more important. them in forearm.
We're gonna do some of that. There's the fist drill. We're gonna do the fist drill so you can feel that water, right? Going in, like without the help of the hand. I want you to feel that on your forearms, all right? All right. So there's my contact info on the QR code. If you are interested in chatting further, yeah, there's my contact info there.